All right, and welcome to Planet Crafter. I I am unhappy with OBS right now, and I'll just give you a little bit about that, and then I'll explain what's going on. Um, so OBS lost about 2 hours of footage when I had a brownout. So then I recorded some new stuff to tell you what happened, and it somehow forgot my audio settings and didn't record anything. I am unhappy with this. I am going to be looking at other software next time. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually down in basically caverns underneath the surface of toxicity, and I'm in what I call the crystal cave, the quartz caves. There's a lot of different types of quartz down here. There's also a few other things, and I remembered that they like to hide things like chests in the water. I had already gone up that ladder once. I'm going to go up there again a little bit later. But for right now, I'm just running around because I know where I need to go. I had already looked at things that I was going to go for later on. So the reason I'm going in here, I mean, I'm going to grab that stuff too because it's there, is because of that. Magnetar quartz. I do a quick look around. Now, going back and watching this again without, actually being in the middle of it, I saw that second piece the first time through. I did, or the second time through. The first time I didn't. So now I'm just doing some pickup. And I decided that, I don't really need any more toxic goo. I had so much of it. I mean, so much of it. And right now it's just a matter of, okay, I'm grabbing as much stuff as I can. And I think I explained, and then there was that. Because that's my first cosmic quartz. Now, the cosmic quartz, you can eventually learn how to build it once you go to multiple areas or multiple planets, I should say, in Planet Crafters, because of the way the planetary, the interplanetary terraformation index works. Because what it does is it does multiplication as opposed to addition. So you can't just like sit there and generate a whole bunch on one planet and be like, oh, I got enough to unlock this stuff. You got to go to at least one additional planet. First time I played Toxicity, I ended up doing something like that by starting off on Selenium and then coming here. And so I decided on the second run through, I'm going to just show up straight. Now, this is me checking to make sure that how much space I got. Me going, why am I not moving stuff? And deciding to go back. So now I have 4 bases in total. I'm trying to remember what I was doing here. Oh, I was explaining stuff. I'm trying to remember what I was explaining. Oh yeah, I was talking about setting up new mining. Because some of the rare materials, I already had set up miners for those, both down there with the osmium and over there with the iridium. Those two were the first ones I set up. I need to set up something to get sulfur and a few other things. what I'm using is I'm using the Tier 2 ore extractors. The Tier 2 ore extractors, they will get any of the more rare things, and then I also mentioned that I put in that, which is the machine optimizer Tier 2, so that I could actually build up pressure a bit quicker. And then I'm checking to make sure, and as you can see, I have phytoplankton for everything. I have my fish. I have a full thing of Tier 1 and Tier 2 fertilizer. Checking my mutagen levels. And of course the algae's filled up. And the methane. The explosive powder is pretty full, but not completely full. So I had initially not had the cosmic quartz set to be moved, and I was going back to check that. You also saw that I had a bunch of pulsar quartz. A lot of that pulsar quartz came from the quartz caves that I was in. There is a bunch of quartz down there. A lot of solar. Not a lot of blazar or anything else, but there's a bunch of solar and the other quartz. The pulsar quartz. Pulsar quartz, incidentally, is the most useful thing. And then I'm looking through here, going, wait, I needed the Detoxo seeds. The Detoxo seeds are, honestly, I'm starting to find them now, and I can put them in storage, but I need them back at my base. So I turned it on so that next time I find a Detoxo seed, it'll just come to the base. There are some things that you need in the base. There are other things you don't. And I'm looking at it going, oh, things have quieted down. Now you can see I've got a lot of Tier 2 drones in here. Now they're out going around. And I started swapping them out, and I'll be continuing on that. Let's see, what was I doing here? Making sure that things were going to pick up stuff. I'm guessing. And that, so that upper left-hand irradiated symbol, I think that's where the toxic goo that's near that magnetar quartz, the purple stuff that I found, is. And oh yeah, I was going to go clear out the toxic waste here, because this area is one of the most filled areas, and I was like, there's only 6 left, and I'm going to spend a lot of time just crossing back and forth about it. And I'll share you the secret now. There is a second, very small toxic area just past this one. And apparently, a couple, the 6 of the 10 that are there count for this area too. And that drove me crazy, because there's a lot of time I spent just going around and around trying to find it, talking about how the game works. Just trying to figure out where the heck the last 6 are, looking at my, looking at the readout in the top right, going, okay, come on, as soon as it kind of dips down past 60, I'll know I'm near something, and hoping that I don't miss that if it just goes down to like 59, and then immediately goes back up to 60. And in the meantime, I'm picking up quartz and super alloy because those two things are, well, the super alloy, just as super alloy, isn't all that useful in near the end game, but you need a lot of it to make the super alloy rods, which you do use a lot. Yeah, end game stuff requires rods to build, and rods can be expensive, especially if you don't have any kind of construction going on, or not any construction, any extraction going on. Eventually, when you get extraction, you start making more stuff, and then you can actually get your rods going. I mean, I was on the lookout for all the things that I was speaking about before, but I was really kind of at a loss because I was just running around and nothing was showing up. I'm just going, what the heck? What? To see anything? And watching this, I'm going, I maybe want to stop using OBS anyway, because I'm watching this after the fact, and maybe it's just OBS being bad at playback. I'm still kind of going, with all the issues I've had with it, kind of burnt on it. I don't know if I talked about this during. Pretty sure I talked about it at some point around this time because of the hydration alarm. But I was talking about the water filter, which I actually haven't built yet. This guy, because so much of the water I can't actually use. What do you mean by that? Well, one of the things you can make for your suit is the water filter. The water filter will give you the ability to drink from pools of water. The problem is that the pools of water that you can drink from have to be cleared. So on this planet, it's kind of an annoyance because you gotta put in a water purifier, so you gotta completely clear the damn things out. And I was at that point of going, okay, well, just chuck everything in here. Things will get picked up. And heading back to home base. With the home base here, it's just I need to get water. I should just put out a small chest near my in my base and just be like, okay, here's where some extra water goes. So I always have enough. And I'm looking to see when things are going to arrive because I'm trying to figure out when I can get certain things. One of the things I want to get is some new stuff for the rover. So here's where I started. And I'm like, okay, what I got tier 2 inventory, tier 2, and the tier 2 and the tier 2 equipment upgrade. Now I'm looking at tier 3, which needs 1 magnetar quartz, because I found some. I was actually like, yep, I can build it now. So now I got it, but the building is, to build 1 tier 2, you need 2 tier 1s. So I'm like grabbing fabric. What was it? Silicon, super alloy, osmium. So I need to make another tier 2 one. Tier 2 inventory increase, so I need a tier 1. Need a second tier 1. I'm like, oh, that's right, I need a second tier 1. Now I'm figuring out, okay, how much more fabric am I going to need? I'm going to need the magnetar quartz. I'm going to need the osmium. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need that. Okay, now count, recount. I might have been commenting on other things while I was doing this, but I don't remember now. Honestly, this was me recording this is like part 3, and then I hear stuff coming in, and I'm like, ooh, wait, that's a single one. It's kind of pinkish. Oh, that's probably my pulsar form. So, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to plug in where it's supposed to go. And I'm going to see if I can get drops in those ones. And as soon as it hits and I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, that has pulsar forms in it. And there's something. I remember doing this and be like, okay, well, let's see, 3, 4, 5. I can't get it that way. Let's go up and around. Okay, I got 5. There we go. Is there any up around the top end? 6, 7, 8. And I'm like, okay, that is a great. No, that's a great haul of pulsar quartz. And then I go back because my brain short-term memory went, and I forgot exactly what I was needing to build stuff. So I'm like, okay, I need another one of those. I need some of that. I need one of those. Need one of those. And I need more fabric. Now I got everything I need. That's level 2, and that's the level 3. And I'm looking at the tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 speed increases going, Jesus, why do you need 2 of everything? I'm like, yeah, I got that. You know what? I'm going to build the lights. That's pretty simple. I just need 2 sulfur, 2 cobalt, 2 silicon, some zeolite, and a solar quartz. Since I actually found the caves and got some solar quartz. Sulfur, a solar quartz, and back I went. Checking to make sure there's nothing else I had unlocked or needed unlocked. And I forgot about the backpack, I think. Or I went to check on it and ended up doing something else. I'm like, yeah, I don't need that very much. I have those blueprint chips, but I don't actually, I already tried and I don't get any more blueprints out of them. And now I'm like, oh, I should check to see. Because one of the things that's here on the list now, down near the bottom, is the where is it? The vehicle jetpack, which is 17,000 tokens. I still have a bit to go. Most of the other things I don't really need. They're great eventually, but in all honesty, you unlock them. You unlock them when you don't have anything else to actually unlock. You just have everything set up so that you're constantly making new tokens. And I went to check there. I got my T6 backpack, which I never built. I'm checking to see when new things are coming out, when the drills and the heaters are coming out. When I get certain things, now that I'm in the tons of insects. And I want to check the new message. So that message starts off when you're getting pretty far into the terraformation. Two companies will be like, hey, we want you to help us, you know, and then they'll eventually send you instructions on how to build the toxic artillery shells that you find a few of, and then there's the stuff you make out of purification gel, which I'm trying to remember what they call it. But for the time being, I look at it and go, okay, well, I'm going to head back to the dam and see if I can't find the last things. I think this is the time frame I actually figure out, oh, hey, there's something that's actually to this. Because I see the little toxic zone, and I'm like, is that considered part of the same toxic zone? I'm going to go into it. I'm going to check. There's more than a little bit of me just going through here. And I'm mostly just trying to keep up with everything and explain how annoying this is, because I can't put in my tier 2 ore extractor yet. Because you can't put an ore extractor in a toxic zone. I mean, it makes sense in some ways. In some ways it doesn't. I mean, ore extractors probably don't really care about toxicity. You know that some mining companies don't really care about toxicity. I mean, you're basically setting up a mining thing. At first I saw the kind of green from the barrels, and I'm like, oh, here's where it is. And I come in here, it's like, no, nope, I fooled myself. I see that color, and I'm like, is that where the toxic waste is? I thought I got close to that. No. Yeah, I still stop and pick up the pristine mushrooms, and I see that area, and I'm like, whatever. Don't really go for it at this point in time. I don't even remember when I went for it. I know I went for it later. One musing I had was that there was a lot of I'm like, there's a lot of, oh hey, golden chest, I need that. And I'm gonna take that because taking those things apart is worth it because they're made out of super alloy and aluminum. I've probably gone over each of these areas like 2 or 3 times. I'm just racking my head going, where is the dang thing? I'm going to watch the little radar thing in the top right corner more because I want to know when I get near it. It's like 60 meters isn't great, but I should be able to see it when I get close. Why can I not find it? And for here, it's just me still trying to figure it out. Double checking to see if I picked up anything or if I didn't pick up anything. In all honesty, near the later end of the game, the chests mean less with the exception of seeds. Even then, seeds actually are useful for a couple things. First off, the seeds allow you to get DNA. Like, oh, sulfur. Oh, this is something that came from a meteorite. And that stuff came from a meteorite. Because I'm just picking it up and not having to mine it. I think around this time I was talking about how much I'm going like, there's gotta be something underground or something. And then I see the frog is actually in the little pond. I'm like, oh, frogs. So now, we're gonna grab those frogs. And then I see this, I'm like, what do we got over here? Oh, nope, this is a different toxic zone, not the same one I had before, but you know what? I'll just start picking stuff up. And then I'm like, oh, full, time to head back. And I'm like, okay, now I'm heading back. And it's right here. I noticed. Because I'm looking at it going, okay, well, I'll just keep an eye on this just in case I get lucky and I still find something. And wait, why are 3 missing? Either I already cleared them and it just finally updated, or some of the stuff in that other zone, in that little zone, counted in here too. And it was the second. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going back and, oh, hey, let me double check in here. I'm going to go all the way to the back. Oh, yeah, I've been in here before. Probably while I was in here, I also commented about the toxic stuff, and I'm like, I really don't know why just the pure toxic stuff is a problem for this guy, because he's in a sealed environment suit. You know, if it was, I mean, it must be corrosive too if it's going to go through anything, but it doesn't ever say it's corrosive. It just says it's toxic. But if you're in basically a spacesuit, because you can work when there's no oxygen, then why am I having trouble with, you know, like toxic fumes or something? And then I'm like, oh, I'm running out of space. And now I get the recipe for the pristine purifying balm, which is one of the new special things. I'm like, I need more space for stuff. So I decided to go outside, see if I can't find some iron. And I'm like, oh, I'm finding tungsten. I mean, I'm not going to complain about finding the tungsten, but I really wanted iron. Making my way over to one of the little islands, and now I'm looking for that iron because I need more storage. And, you know, there's more tungsten, so I'm going to grab that as well. And there's enough, so I'm going to head back. Now, there are 3 different storages for just regular stuff that you can find. So you already seen 2 of them. There's no, you've seen 3 of them. There's 4 for just like non-specialized stuff. There's little chests, the big lockers. We're on the big lockers right now. And I'm thinking about, nope, I'm going to throw those in there. Okay, now we're going to head back. Or I'm thinking about heading back, and then I'm like, no, wait. Let me see if clearing that one little area will also clear the other one. And I might as well look for stuff on my way back and forth. Now for this, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to be putting the next miner in here for the super alloy. Need the super alloy, need the aluminum, zeolite. I'm like, okay, there's a 3rd one someplace, or 2 more someplace. Alright, it's going to start clearing. I look around. I mentioned that area right over there was the next place I'm going to go. That is a prison. I eat space food. Grab a bunch of stuff. I start heading back. Now from here, I believe this is... oh, no, wait. I decided I'm going to go check out the little tower up there. And look around see maybe if I can find some obsidian sitting on the ground, because I'm going to need more obsidian soon. But I don't see anything. I think I got to go on the other side of that little ravine. But now I'm heading up. Check for chests. Check for stuff in chests. And keep going up. And yeah, another blueprint. And they talk about a prison break. So yeah, most of the people who were in here were actually prisoners, being used to clean up the super toxic stuff. I'm looking up that canyon, which is where you go to head back to two of the other toxic zones. I'm almost out of water. Well, I was almost out of water, so I drank, and now I gotta head back. I think this was about the time I was like, you know, it would have been interesting that when we were going around and cleaning up toxic waste, we didn't have to actually clean up any of the piles of nuclear waste that's filled with uranium. That they can sit right out and there's no problem with toxicity. But the toxic goo, that has to be cleaned up. Because in all honesty, you should be clearing up those damn barrels too. Because leaking nuclear waste is probably not very very good for the environment. And there's a lot of stuff that it's not picking up quickly. But I'm like trying to get as much stuff in there as I can. And I only realize, oh, hey, look, I got space in this one. I still got that effigy thing because I'm gonna put that into. I'm gonna put that into its display case. But I'm gonna head back to the main base. Get more water and food. And stick the effigy in the display case. Now I'm thinking, well, first off, I'm going to get some water. Then I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do next? I'm going to expand my production. So I start doing some math about it. What do I need? Oh, and now that area is clear, I can put in ore extractors too. So I think, okay, fine. I'm going to make 2 more ore extractors. I need, and I made a mistake there. I grabbed 2 iridium rods. I needed to grab 4. And then I go, okay, well, I need to get some aluminum, and I need to go and set up the thing for the super alloy. The super alloy is going to be a longer trek, so I figure I'll just run south, put down the aluminum extractor, then go over to the other area and start doing that. Like, okay, I got food, I got water, I'm good. I'm not going to worry about it. I got a jetpack, and I'm moving fast. I am looking forward to having enough credits to buy the stupid jetpack for the rover so I can see the damn thing fly. Then I might get a speed boost for it, just simply because that would be really cool. And I'm reveling in the mobility the jetpack gives me, because I can leap off of tall structures and just be like, yeah, I'm fine. And I'm like running around. I'm like, I didn't realize it at first. I'm like, oh, I got turned around. Yeah, I'm turned around. I need to go to the south. south-southeast. And I got another message. And there's the other new thing they want you to build, toxic artillery shells. After you get those two things built, storage will be, you need to build them and then you need to package them. So it's not like you need to build 25 of them. You need to build 25 crates, which is, I believe, 9 of them to a crate. So, yeah, 225 of the purification bomb or 225 of the toxic artillery shells. And this is near where you put down the aluminum extractor. I spent a little bit of time finding the exact spot I wanted to be in. I was thinking about this spot. Then I'm like, no, I wanted a little more over here. But then when I checked the map, I realized, no, I was right the first time. Right on top of there. So I built my tier 2 ore extractor as soon as I can find a spot for it. I'm going to go up and check. As you can see, it has aluminum as its thing. So if you have a special resource that it's going to extract, it'll show there. So that's definitely going to extract the aluminum I need. Now, we're going to head on and go to the last spot. I am going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to use the teleporter. Honestly, when I first started playing the game, I didn't really use the teleporter. But in Toxicity, where you have to like go over and under things, the teleportation, making a small teleportation network's just too useful. When you're on Aquilus is, in all honesty, Aquilus, you don't really have to worry about it because you're only going to have one base. You might bring enough to put down a little cube to use as a forward base, like I did here at the beginning, where it's just like, okay, got a little base, I'm going to go in a little base. But you don't really feel like building anything bigger. Then I'm like, okay, right around here someplace, I'm going to put it down. Alright, yeah, here I am. I'm right in the right spot. And this is about the point where I go, okay, I need to build the next ore extractor. And oh my god, I forgot to grab the iridium rods. Or at least, I forgot to grab enough of them. So, next thing's next, I go, oh, maybe they haven't moved them out, or maybe I can find some right along here. I mean, I don't go searching for every single chest, but I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll head back here. I got everything else I need. Just need some iridium rods. And so I check in here first. No. Yet, no way. Like, okay, oh, back to base so I can get some more iridium rods. At least now that I have the miner in place, I'm gonna get more iridium rods. And I'm like, I should get some more water. Or seeing if they had some more water. And I'm like, nah, you know what? I'll just drink the water I got. And now it's time to put in the miner for the super alloy. Set that. And then I believe after that I head back and start doing more building. this isn't right. This isn't the spot I was at before. No, this still isn't right. And, well, there's quartz there, so I decided to grab that real quick. You know, you check the map and you're like, oh, that's where it is. Okay, now I'm right in the middle of it. Let's put down our ore extractor. Double check. We'll get it to supply stuff. And we're off. We'll check this. Nope, I've cleared it out. I think right about here, I'm just talking about the prison a little bit. Talking about how now that oxygen is no longer an issue, if you look at the O2 rate, if you look at the O2 ranking, I don't have any loss anymore. There's now enough oxygen that I can breathe full time. I have the air filter and the toxic filter. I think this was where I actually made the initial thoughts about, hey, you know, I should just be the uranium scraps. I should probably count against like the toxicity of the area. And then I'm talking about how since there's no need for oxygen anymore, I don't actually need to build a building. I just need to put down one of the foundations, and then I can put chests on it, and then we're good. I stopped by there because first I think that's zeolite. I'm like, well, there's at least some super alloy here. I got a bunch of uranium, and I think I'm already building uranium rods back at my main base. I think this is where I decide, okay, I'm going to build some more do some more building of stuff after I check on the new messages. And these messages are just telling us, hey, we want you to build us pristine purifying bombs or toxic artillery shells. You need to build like 200 of them. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's going to take a while. Toxic artillery shells actually are harder right now because I don't remember if I actually have a good supply of sulfur or not. Because you need a lot of sulfur. Because you have to use that to make explosive powder. And you need explosive powder to make the toxic artillery shells. Whereas the bomb just needs gel, which I'm already making, and microplastics, which I already have a ton of. Now I'm double checking, okay, what do I need to make auto crafters? Okay, I need iron to help build stuff. I'm trying to remember what to build first. I can't remember what I was. I'm like, I'm gonna start putting stuff there. No, I'm not. And I realize I'm going to need a bunch of it if I'm going to build the things that I was talking about. I have all the rods set already, so now I'm going to start putting down more. The next message gives you the toxic artillery shells pack, which is how you can pack up enough to actually take with you on when you leave the planet. And I'm just checking to see how much you need. And I figure, okay, I'm going to need the same amount when I make the purifying balm thing. I'm checking. Okay. This one's just, 25 packs of toxic artillery shells. And each pack has 25 in them, I think. Or, no, it has 9 in them. So 9 times 25, 225. So you're going to bring in over 200 of them. So then I'm like, okay, well, here we go. First things first. For building the balm, we're just going to use the small ones. We're going to put the autocrafter next to it. So this is for building the balms themselves. So you need those, and you need the microplastics. I still have plenty of microplastics. Yep, I'm asking for them. It just takes a little bit of time. Now I can build the pristine purifying balm, set that thing to deploy them eventually. I count, he has 8 slots in that thing, so I can't do anything with it. I mean, I can't just like mass produce them there and then build the I flipped that backwards, put that there. Next autocrafter. This is the one for the toxic shells. And then I'm like, okay, I need toxic goo. I need explosive powder, and I need... What was the third thing I needed? Like, oh, yeah, it was probably tungsten. And I needed tungsten. So next time I play this, I'm going to have to get more tungsten, too. So I look at that and I go, okay, what do I need to do next? I need to make storage for them because I'm going to need more than, 8 or 9. I'm like, I'll put that down. And I'm like, nope. I'm going to build more space for it. And that's actually kind of the thing about this game. There's a lot of things you can just be like, I'm going to start mass producing stuff. Then I can go, okay, demand pristine. The pristine stuff. Okay, demand the artillery shells. And then what I'm going to do eventually is I'm going to put in 2 more autocrafters. And I need to make sure these things are set to supply everything. Now I'm just like, okay, I gotta wait for stuff to show up. But the purifying balm comes through really quick. And I'm kind of just going around checking supplies. I don't have any sulfur. which is needed. So I probably should set up my sulfur. Well, you probably had a bit of a quiet spell. I had to stop recording while I was going through it, talking about the different types of quartz, what we're going to be seeing, what we're going to be picking up next. And I'm musing as to what I need next. Like, okay, I'm going to have to get rid of finally start making some fabric because I'm running out. I don't have anything making fabric, but I do have the silkworms going already. And then I decide I'm going to set up someplace so that I can keep all my tree bark and all the lirma seeds. The tree bark and the lirma seeds are the only two things that you actually need to get delivered. I mean, you're eventually going to need like flower seeds for other stuff. But you don't need a specific one. I'm wondering why the toxic shells haven't moved there yet, because that one thing that they're in is set to deliver everything. At least I think it is. And I'm talking about why I need tree bark here, because you need tree bark to make any of these special trees. And then you need mutagen, fertilizer, and the like, and phytoplankton to start making fish. I start musing about what I need to make nexus again. I really need to make some more farms, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. Now I gotta go check again, see how long it is till it lands. I'm mostly just coming out here to check, and I saw the message, so I'm just waiting for it to land. Now, when you see the message, it hasn't landed yet, but it's basically back in local space to say, so you can just come back and wait for it to actually show up. I'm checking on my logistics again. So logistics kind of speeds up and slows down as the game progresses. This was after doing a bunch of running around, so I probably was gonna have to wait a bit. I checked to see sulfur. I got sulfur. And I still don't have any explosive powder or tungsten there, so I gotta start making production for that. Yeah, so on a lot of these things, you kind of have to figure out what your bottleneck is, whether it's, what component it is. For like the bioplastic nuggets, my big thing that's slowing me down is the actual mushrooms. I need sulfur is the thing that actually is slowing me down towards making the explosive shells, because I can use the sulfur, and the tungsten. Between the sulfur and the tungsten, those two things are the things that are actually keeping me from doing anything right now. For making the shells, I double checked the fuses. I'd already gotten the pressure ones out. Now I'm looking to see what else I got. I got the heat ones, but I also need obsidian, because without the obsidian I can't do anything. And I'm just checking to see, okay, I'm getting close to the tier 4 mutagen. The amphibian hold on 1 second. The amphibian farm is another thing to really kick up your animal production. The tier 2 beehive, which is in there, helps kick it up. What you really want was something that was in there called the biosphere, because it produces just random random larvae. And so you get larvae for just about everything, with I think the exception of bees and silkworms. But both bees and silkworms you can genetically engineer. So you're going to set that up, and then you can start making more bees and silkworms when you need them. And I decide that right now I need some more power. So one more fusion reactor. Or nuclear fusion generator. I look at how much power one of them puts out, which I can see a lot better when I don't have my flashlight on, which is now 6,000. So I go upstairs to check, and now I have 15,000 available. I'm not too worried about power anymore. And I start doing the math on how much the auto crafters actually use up most of it. I kind of joke about how many solar panels I have and how much more power one nuclear fusion generator has compared to the big fission reactor. I also spend some time just kind of going, okay, well, what else am I going to make here? I look and try to remember. Sometimes I'm just checking to remember, do I have this? Do I need this? And the toxic shells still haven't been moved, but it's almost full of the purifying balm already. So as soon as I get the recipe for making the chests, I'm going to start. Now, what I plan to do is when I make those 25 things, I'll make the escape rocket, and I will have 25 toxic shell cases and 25 purifying bombs. I'll save it, I'll launch, I'll do one, I'll restore, and I'll do the other. Because you get a different story ending for each of them. And this is about the time I'm going, you know what? I'm about done for the night. And I have something to eat real quick. And I'm going to test out the bed because you couldn't use the bed before. And apparently